I love this show. Like, I love this show. This is a good show. Like, yo, this is a good show. Like, yo, I just finished watching this episode 1 of Blue Lock, and I'm in deep shock because I expected a traditional sports anime around soccer. That's literally what I expected going into this show, watching the first episode, etc. Because ever since kind of like for about 8 months now, there's been people that have been recommending me to watch Blue Lock or read the manga. I've had a lot of people tell me to get into this series because, like, they're like, Chibi, hey, I noticed you like Haikyuu. I noticed you like Yomushi Pedal. I know you like, all these different sports anime you've watched over the years and covered. Maybe you should give Blue Lock a try. And I heard that it was getting an anime, so I decided to shelf potentially reading the manga and wait for the anime. So, fast forward to today, going into this series, only thinking it is a traditional sports anime, it blew me away. And the reason for that is because, like I said, I thought it was a traditional sports anime, but it is far from the case. And let me explain. So, the opening of this episode, like I said, it's normal. It's a traditional sports look. Everything about it, the way the plot is, like, developing, to the two, like, main male characters meeting up, it follows that traditional formula you would see in a sports show. Like, two rivals kind of working together and potentially joining a team to, be able to make a really strong team to go to finals, go to the nationals, whatever, enter high, different series, whatever they want to call it. The point is that that's the typical formula of these series. And there's nothing wrong with that, because obviously there's just so much that you could do with it, because character development is a big part of sports series. That's where the biggest shining aspect of the entire storytelling is of sports manga and anime. It's because of the character development. So I was like, okay, so this is a traditional start. It had a really good beginning. Like, there were some really good art sequences here. Like, I love the character expressions and stuff. Like, I love this. I love the introduction to characters, showing their names and all that. It's very beautiful artwork. So, like I said, the beginning was very standard. But then we got to the middle section of the episode. We met this guy. This guy that's, like, really creepy. Like, legitimately, if you were to be shown a screenshot of this guy, and you had no idea what this was, you didn't even get context in the anime, you're like, oh, is this some form of horror anime or something? That's what you would assume. You would. And, I mean, there's a lot of moments throughout, like, his overall dialogue here to where he just looks absolutely creepy. Like, his design is super exaggerated to the way his limbs are, drawn, everything about it. He's a very exaggerated character design. And this is when the series starts to take a radical shift, as you can even see by the art style. The shift starts to go down a direction where he's trying to form a very strong Japanese soccer team. Now, once again, this follows along with the storyline. But the point is that he feels like everybody that is in the soccer team, they are team players, and he hates that. And let me explain. And this is why I think this is a unique, show. Most of the time when you come to watch a sports show, like any type of sports show, it's about teamwork. You might be the strongest player that was on your old team or whatever, but when you find out that you start going up against bigger monsters, you realize that it's a team-based game. You have to form a group as a team and be able to beat your opponent as a team. It's not just one person for themselves. That's what a lot of sports anime has kind of made us think about. What we always expect from the storytelling is that, no matter how good this so-and-so character is at their role, there's going to be someone better than them, and also they need someone else on their team. But this show, like I said, flips that. It literally flips that entire aspect on its head, and the guy here that, like I said, has a very exaggerated design, he wants to make them not team players. He wants to make them very egotistical. He wants to make them where they will only think about themselves on the field and think that, like, they're the best player to be able to bring down their opponent, that they will hog the ball if they need to be able to win said game. And it's a very interesting twist. And that automatically won me over for just, wanting to watch this series. I was like, wow, okay, we're changing up the formula a little bit. We're adding a little bit of a, egotistical nature to the characters. And the reason why I think that was really good just from that alone, like, I would have been praising and singing the tunes of the series just from that alone, because I'm like, that teaches a really different aspect of storytelling. Because, yes, teamwork is very important, especially in sports or any team-based competitive game or whatever, but at the same time, sometimes one player is good enough to be able to carry an entire match. That is the truth of the matter. There is some times where that is possible. But also, to have that feeling of you're the best player, Yes, it can be toxic, but at the same time, it can allow you to be more competitive and want to improve yourself and never falter and fall behind. It feels very realistic to a degree because, let's be honest, as human beings, I think that we want to be good at something. No matter what it is, we want to be good at something, and if we are good at something, and we know we're good at something, we want to stay good at something. We don't want to fall from the hilltop down to the ground. We don't want to do that. And I like how this draws out the very nature of humanity in a way, and like I said, very unique premise, just with that. But like I said, it goes much further. So when we get later on in the episode, it's basically revealed that these characters are going to be participating literally in Hunger Games, or Squid Games, whatever deathmatch battle royale that you want to attach. Now, it's not to the same extent, for clarification. I'm not talking about like characters are dying left and right. Nobody, from at least I'm aware of, is dying. But you have like 300 players that is within this selected group that creepy guy was selecting, and it's like, hey, look, if you come into Blue Lock, you will be able to live here as long as you want. Well, you're forced to live here as long as you want. You can't leave, and you have to be the last one standing out of 300 different people, or 299 technically, if they're not counting themselves. So, you have to be the last one standing, and when you're the last one standing, you will be the best player, and you'll be able to join, basically, the official Japanese soccer team. And it's a huge part of the story, basically saying that these characters that, you see interacting together, like in the episode, which normally in a sports show, you'd be like, oh, these are going to be the teammates. These are going to be, the group that's going to work together to be able to bring down their opponents. But once again, it flips the script on that. And the characters you think that would technically be allies isn't allies, because our MC is literally competing with them to not get eliminated to where he'll never be able to play soccer again. So it's a really good premise. I love all this, how it really ups its game with just the egotistical nature, but also showcasing that, once again, there is no teamwork here. It's everyone for themselves. That's exactly what it is. So, Blue Lock, this is a good show. This is a legitimately good show. I will sing its praises. I love the way it looks. I love the music. It's great from start to finish. I had a great time watching this, and I could be wrong here, but I believe that the person that wrote Blue Lock, like this series, like the original source of the manga, apparently might be the author of Jigan. Don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong. But if that is indeed the case, it does explain a lot with, let's say, like the horror aspects, like the creepy looking characters in some parts, like this guy. It does explain a lot about some of the design decisions. But overall, like I said, good show. This is, I'm gonna say, this might be my favorite premiere from this anime season so far. I mean, I know not everything has come out, and I know there is a lot of good, but I really like this premiere. I really do like this, and I'm shocked. I really am shocked. So, all I want to say before I wrap up this video, though, is that if you have yet to watch the first episode of Blue Lock, I highly recommend you to do so. It's good. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if this series is going to remain good, because once again, I'm an anime only. I have no idea what to expect. So it could go south. It could become the worst series imaginable. I have no idea. But at least from the first episode, as someone that has no idea what's going to happen, no idea where the story's going to go, this is a good first episode to get people engaged. To give us a lot of character development, or characterization for correction. It gave us a lot of just good introduction to the world and what these characters are fighting for, but also what to expect from the series, and that this isn't your traditional sports show. Everything about it, great first episode. So, I'll leave it at that. If I gave you any form of entertainment, I helped you decide if you wanted to watch Blue Lock, or if I, gave you, happiness because I like the show, or whatever it means, do drop me a like down below. It does help me out a lot, and I always greatly appreciate it. But with that, guys, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.